Good morning, everyone, and welcome to this week's edition of TCS Student News. I'm Ronan, and last Sunday, U.S. Secretary of State Anthony Blinken announced that China has been acting aggressively abroad. This is mainly being seen in China's fight for Taiwan. The U.S. has a long-standing commitment under the Taiwan Relations Act to ensure that Taiwan has the ability to defend itself and to sustain peace in the Western Pacific. China has blamed the United States for many of these rising tensions regarding Taiwan because China believes that it has a right to the island. China has conducted many military operations in the Taiwan Strait. China has sent huge battleship fleets and conducted many air patrols around the island of Taiwan. These air patrols have constantly been invading Taiwanese airspace and scaring the people of Taiwan along the coast. China says that they believe that China is doing this to show their strength and to intimidate Taiwan. China denies these claims and it says that they are just doing regular military patrols in their own territory. And that statement solidifies the idea that they see Taiwan as their own and will not let it stand to be independent. Tensions over the years have gotten so high that now many start to suspect that the U.S. will respond militarily to China's actions against Taiwan. The interest of both China and the U.S. is to not engage in a hot war with each other over Taiwan, but the U.S. will come to Taiwan's aid if something were to happen. China's aggressive abroad attitude doesn't stop there, however. China has many methods of becoming a global superpower. One example being President Xi Jinping's plan for a new modern Silk Road. It's a plan put in place to connect much of Eurasia using infrastructure and foreign investment from China. The plan is to use roads, railways, pipelines, ports, sea routes to connect much of Asia, East Africa, the Middle East, Europe, and Indonesia. The main purpose of the Belt Road Initiative is to help China raise its economy while building up structures that stimulate trade throughout the region. Anthony Blinken had a meeting with G7 foreign ministers saying that China was one of their main issues on their agenda. Blinken said that, quote, the United States was not aiming to contain China, but to uphold a rule-based order, and anyone who poses a challenge to that order, we're going to stand up and defend it, end quote. Now for the news you were all waiting for, TCS News. Last Thursday, we had a conversation with Mr. Noah to relive some memories before he headed back to Detroit and stops teaching here at TCS. We shared stories about how the back classroom was always scorching hot when the main classroom was always so cold, or stories about Mr. Noah's great outfits and his amazing sense of humor. The room was filled with a lot of laughter and reminiscing about shared memories between all of us and Mr. Noah. Mr. Noah, I want to let you know that you were one of the greatest teachers I've ever had. You believed in me when sometimes I didn't believe in myself, and your belief helped propel me forward and make me the student I am today. You have done so much for me and everyone here at TCS. You made every day the best it possibly could be, and that was so inspiring to so many of us. I want to wish you well on your journey back to Detroit, and you will always be a great teacher, and I hope you never give up teaching people, even if you're not in a classroom. Thank you, Mr. Noah. On Friday, we watched one of Mr. Dunn's favorite movies, Almost Famous. It's a movie set in 1973 about a 15-year-old boy named William, who is a fan of music and writes for Cream magazine, which covers new rock artists and old rock icons. His work is picked up by the Rolling Stone, and he gets an interview with the up-and-coming band Stillwater. William embarks on an eye-opening journey with the band's tour and is met with the world of rock stars and how their lives really are behind stage. William's protective mother tries to keep him from experiencing this new type of life he isn't used to, and this conflict adds to the brilliant and compelling coming-of-age story shown in the movie. From parties to watching the band perform live, William experiences every good and bad thing about being a star in the 70s. He forms a deep friendship with the bandmates and one band aide because he isn't like other rock critics. He actually likes and listens to the band's music. The movie is rich in deep character development that makes you think a lot about the relationships in your own life. Plus, the music is pretty good. The movie is based on the real life events of the director when he was a writer for the Rolling Stone at the age of 15. The story of Almost Famous is based on the director's real experiences working with some of the biggest rock bands in the world. I really enjoyed this movie, if you couldn't tell, and the characters seemed so real that I couldn't not engage with them and the sound of the music in the movie. I'm sorry to all my fellow classmates who had to listen to my terrible singing while the movie was playing. Again, I'm sorry. I highly recommend this movie, and I think everyone would really like it and enjoy it if you gave it a chance. And on Tuesday, we had our first American Sign Language class with Miss Peg. Miss Peg explained a lot about deaf people and how they understand communication through hands and certain gestures using your face and body language. We were given sheets of paper with the sign alphabet on it, and we all practiced our hand movements spelling out words. Once we had an understanding of what we were getting into, Miss Peg did a sign letter, and we all had to write down what the letter was. After that, we all chose 3-letter words that we would sign to the class and have them guess what the word was, which I thought was really fun and can't wait to do again. It's a great way of learning. We will be having these ASL seminars for the rest of May on every Tuesday, and this seminar will travel into next year's curriculum. I love the ASL class with Miss Peg. Not many people know how to communicate through sign language and rely on modern technology to do it, which is good in its own right, but learning how to sign it for those who can't hear is an important skill for people to have, and I appreciate that TCS is giving us this amazing chance to learn an amazing skill and language. I can't wait for the next class. Thank you, Miss Peg. We have a couple of birthdays for some of the greatest people here at TCS. Miss Carol's birthday was on Wednesday, and we want to wish her a very, very happy birthday. Miss Carol, you are one of the best cooks in the entire world, and you do so much here at TCS. You mean a lot to us here at TCS, and TCS wouldn't be the same without all your help and support. You are a gem in the school, and we can't thank you enough. I hope you had a really wonderful birthday. We also want to give a happy birthday to Miss Peg, whose birthday is this Saturday. Miss Peg, you are just so amazing, and you add so much to the culture here at TCS. You make every Tuesday the best with your presence and your amazing attitude and all your help. You are one of a kind, and we are so lucky to have you here with us at the school. Thank you. So we have just entered the month of May, and we finished up a majority of our courses. Biology, history, and health are all done for the year. Now, you may be wondering what we'll be doing for the last month of school. Well, I'll tell you. Mr. Tom has worked extensively on making this May a time to remember. Every day isn't going to be like yesterday because we will be having conversations about every day. We're also adding 3 new courses to the curriculum. As you heard, we're adding American Sign Language. We're also adding a human sexuality and financial literacy course to help students better understand themselves and the world around them. We're also adding a home improvement seminar with Mr. Ed, teaching students basic tools and safety and basic home repairs you can do yourself. We're also having each student do a 15-minute seminar about what they're passionate about and what they think other students will find cool or interesting. We had our first 15-minute seminar on Tuesday. Claude did a presentation about scrap metal and the price of 6 metals used in housing and other buildings, and some of the basic rules about scrapping metal for money. Thank you, Claude, for this great experience. I learned a lot, and I look forward to everything else that will be happening in May as well. Now, I would like to thank everyone for providing a lunch this week. Thank you, Mr. Ken and Miss Paulette, for the wonderful Chipotle and conversation on Wednesday. We love when you guys stop by. You always bring a special energy into the room that we all just can't get enough of. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Tom, for bringing in Amici's on Thursday. The pasta with sausage and Caesar salad was so good, and I definitely go to Amici's and have it sometime. That Italian food was but I'm still waiting for that Italian bread though. Anyways, thank you, Miss Trina, Joshua's sponsor and mom, for the pizza on Friday. We really appreciate the pizza, and it was a great addition to the great movie that we watched on Friday. Thank you. Thank you, Miss Carol, for the ham mac and cheese casserole. That dish was so amazing, so you know I had to get seconds. Thank you for the delicious food, Miss Carol. Thank you, Miss Peg, for the amazing chili, fruit, brownie crisps, and cornbread. It was so good, and we love when you come around, and we can't thank you enough for everything you do here at TCS. And that wraps up this TCS broadcast. I hope you all had an amazing weekend, and we'll see you next week.